Boomer and Gio.
BT and Sal.
Kevin and Tiki.
Keith McPherson, your nighttime host on The Fan.
On the fan.
On the fan.
On the fan.
It's WFAN Daily, hosted by Pete Hoffman.
Well, this has been very, very crappy of a day for the particular. Where do we start off? Which team do you want to just blow up and destroy right now? That's the question. Both teams, the Mets and Yankees, they're losing at rates that are unbelievable. They are now a combined 0-11, and it's just, this is grotesque baseball right now that we are watching. It is aggravating, it is frustrating, and I don't see any hope in sight for either of these teams in the near future, in the present, right now. Not talking about playoffs. I'm not talking about trade deadline. I'm just saying tomorrow. Thursday is tomorrow or today when you're decide to listen to this podcast. But the Mets have to play a game versus the Braves on a Thursday. I don't see this losing streak stopping Thursday against the Braves. It just doesn't seem possible. The lifelessness of the bats, of the offense, and the pitching, it's just getting worse and worse. The bullpen's having their breakdowns, their meltdowns. The defense, listen, whoever sold me on Luis Torrens being the starting catcher every day, thanks for selling me at the worst possible time, because he had the worst possible defensive game. Basically, giving up some runs as he's, trying to grab the baseball with his helmet or his mask. You can't do that. Mental mistake. But I mean, there's mental mistakes and then there's like idiotic mistakes. And it just feels like right now everything is turning into idiotic mistakes for the Mets and the Yankees. I mean, oh my God. I don't want to jump around a lot, but we're going to get to Anthony Volpe in a second. And let's be honest. I'm surprised that people are not more upset at Anthony Volpe, because between the batting and then the defense, the lack of exceptional defense from a Gold Glove winner. This is why when people talk about the awards given out at the end of the season, let's be serious. We talk about the awards given out at the end of the season, and I know that Volpe's got a plaque. It says Gold Glove. But when you watch plays like that, where you watch a play in the the top of the eighth, where it's a clear-cut double play, and he throws the ball away, it's just embarrassing. It's disturbing that's your top-end shortstop. This is the guy that you put all of your next Derek Jeter, you put all of your pride and all of your gusto into him. That's your guy. That's Anthony Volpe. The team, it's Aaron Judge, and then Anthony Volpe is your everyday shortstop. That's the guy that you want to play. That's your guy that you're putting at that position at a prime spot, prime position. You remember you moved Gleyber Torres over to second base for him, right? So this is your guy. Maybe it's time to move Anthony Volpe away from the shortstop position. Maybe there's somebody else that you can groom and put over there, because it doesn't seem to be working. But there's a lot to break down here. But you know what? I'm in a mood right now. I'm in a very pissed off mood. So to relax me, what I'm going to do, I have this. I don't know if you guys are listening to the BT and Sal show on Wednesday, but Michael Rubin stopped by and he gave BT and Sal each a box of cards. Now, BT opened his. He got a signed autographed David Wright, which is very, very awesome. Which, by the way, we're going to be at Fanatics Fest this Friday and Saturday and Sunday. WFAN will all be there. So you definitely go stop by. Definitely go check it out. And we'll be there. So doing our shows, live shows. We'll be doing a Rico Broner podcast. Either way, I got this. Sal gave this to me, this box, which I have in my hand if you're listening to this. I'm going to open it up right now. I'm in the mood just to give me, some peacefulness as we're doing this podcast because I can't watch this crap anymore. I'm sorry. I was happy that the Yankees scored a couple runs today to make it feel like, hey, they actually do have some offense. It was good to see that. But this has been some really crappy baseball. So to make me happy, I'm going to open this. I don't know if I'm going to go through all packs. Maybe I'm just going to go through one. I promised my kid I'd open up some with him, but he's in bed right now. It's getting late at night. All right, so I'm having issues with this opening it up too. So hold on. Let's here we go. All right. We'll just open one today. We'll see what happens. And it's a hobby box. One autographed relic in every hobby box. I feel like that's a good thing, right? I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to the Mets and Yankees because it's who loses better. That's my question to you. Which team at least gives the better effort? Today, I would look at the Yankees and say you had a better loss because it was a tight ball game. It was 2-2. Yarbrough, yes, he had a couple, he didn't start off that great. Let's be honest. Giving up the home run to the first baseman. I always screw up his last name, Shawnell or whatever it is. But gave up a early home run, 1-0. But Jazz Chisholm with a nice home run. I believe, was it Cody Bellinger with the home run as well, too? Am I correct in that? I feel like I'm blanking on that one for some reason. It was definitely Cody. No, not Cody. It was definitely Jazz. And it was also, why would that change on me? It was definitely a Jazz. And yes, it was Cody. I knew it. Cody and Jazz. How about that? All right, we're going to open up a pack right now. But so at least you saw some sort of like, whether or not they actually had that real conversation, because I've been seeing mixed reports about the Yankees having that team player-only meeting that was spearheaded by Judge, by Goldschmidt, by Stanton. If that was for real, maybe this did jumpstart some players to be like, oh, wait, I do have to perform. This is not going to be a cakewalk the entire season. You can't get lackluster. You can't just die out and rely on Aaron Judge always. You have to. Somebody else has got to perform. And Aaron Judge, again, there was a moment for him in later parts of the inning where I thought either they're going to walk him, but they decided to pitch to him, and he hit a ball to deep center field, but that was not enough. All right, I'm going to open this up right here on the spot. So, all right, here we go. You're hearing this. But yeah, it was a better performance. So I would say the Yankees had a better performance on Wednesday as far as going to lose. It was a better performance. It was a closer game, but in the end, it was more frustrating because of how they lost with the Volpe error, which led to a run, the game-winning run. And then guess who's up at the end of the game? Guess who's up at the end of the game to keep the game going, potentially get a good hit to either tie the ball game, maybe win the ball game? It's Anthony Volpe. And guess what happens? Nice strikeout. All right, so I don't know how these cards are in order, but maybe some good things are in the back, good things are in front. I don't know. Either way, Ian Happ is the first card. Oh, guess what? We have our first Met. Nice Brandon Nimmo. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. It's not autographed. Don't worry about it. I might throw that away. I'm going to save that. Oh, look who it is. The guy that hit the home run today for the Yankees, against the Yankees. The Yankees. Nolan, is it Chanel? Shanoli? However you pronounce that name. I'm terrible with that. Then you got Ellie De La Cruz and Jonathan India, but he's not on the team anymore. That doesn't count. Okay. That's a nice card, I guess. Seichi's picture perfect play. The Minnesota Twins. Can you guys even see this at all? All right. Let's see. Ryan O'Hearn of the Orioles. They suck. So the Yankees have that at least. The Orioles suck. Trevor Larnach, whatever. Twins. You got, Luis Rengifo. You thought that Rengifo saved you. You thought that Rengifo, when he threw the ball away, when he fielded that ball in the 9th inning and he throws the ball to first base, he's just lackadaisical. He's just, okay, whatever. And he realizes he's going to miss getting Paul Goldschmidt out of first base if he doesn't hurry up. And he just throws a rocket, but almost overthrows the first baseman. And Goldschmidt smartly slides. So Rengifo, there you go. And then you got Brady Singer. All right. I don't think he's on the Reds. I don't think he's on the Royals anymore. And then you got Mason Wynn. Okay. Yeah, here you go. And then, okay. Oh, my God. All right. I don't know if this is a special card at all, but what year is this? It says 2025 on it. Hold on a second. Hold on, we'll skip that. Hold on. Let's see what else we got. You saw me open the pack. This is a Duran Dub and Drench. Okay. All right, so we ran out of cards. So I'll show you the card I just pulled. I can't believe it. I mean, I don't know if it's worth anything at all, but it's funny. So I pulled a Juan Soto. A Grapefruit League Juan Soto in a Yankee jersey. Oh, God, that is funny. I mean, all right. I don't need to pull any more packs today. That was worth it. I don't know if that's a good card, a bad card, but that is funny. But that's just embarrassing. So, yeah, anyway, that was a nice, heavy Yankee Met pack. The Mets, they suck too. And Paul Blackburn, I got to give it to Paul Blackburn. Hold on. I was very impressed that Paul Blackburn was able to go 4 innings today, or was it 3 innings today, whatever it was, 3 2/3, and not give up 4 runs. I mean, that is impressive. I think we all have to tip the cap to Paul Blackburn. But the game was over in the first batter. The game was over within the first freaking batter. Ronald Acuna Jr. steps up, first pitch, home run, game over. Game, set, match. There was zero offense, and this is what got us pissed off. This is what got Mets fans pissed off about the day prior, because you knew how important game 1 of that series was. If you want to win the series, game 1 was important because you have your best pitcher on the mound. Right now, in the scheduled here, your best pitcher is David Peterson by far with the 3 pitchers you got laid out. You got David Peterson out there, and he's going deep into that game. And in a blink of an eye, they throw it away. They give away that game. Reed Garrett comes in after having 7 days off and, can't shut things down. And to me, it's on Carlos Mendoza for taking it so lightly. Like, let's see if we can stretch David Peterson out. No. You have a bullpen. You have 2 arms that you can rely upon, and they haven't really been used into 5 to 7 days between Edwin Diaz and Reed Garrett. You have to make sure they go into a clean inning. You got to make sure that you go in there and don't put this odd situation where it's like 2 runners on and, hey, go at it. You haven't pitched in a week for whatever reason. And I know they're professionals, and I know that they still have their off days, and they're still throwing around regardless. But you put Reed Garrett into a bad spot, and you lose that game on Tuesday, and Chris Sale on the mound, you knew you were never going to have a chance. You knew no matter what, when there's an ace on the mound going up against the Mets and you're facing the Braves, they're going to shut you down. And that's exactly what Chris Sale did. He was an out away from a complete game shutout. I know he threw 116 pitches, which is why they pulled him at the end. But Paul Blackburn against Chris Sale, it is, that the Mets have no chance. And they basically gave away the game in the first pitch. If you're Paul Blackburn, I would prefer to see you bean Ronald Acuna Jr. with the first pitch of the game rather than throw him a fastball over the plate. You would have done better off with that. It was just absurd. It sucks. And we're in a situation right now where the Mets are in a situation right now where they are only 1 game ahead of the Phillies again. So this whole divisional race, it's going to go up and down all season long. And this is a bad stretch. Don't get me wrong. You're going to have bad stretches all season long. But this is not the time to mess around when you're done with the Braves and you got to try to find a way to win on Thursday. You have to, even though we know it's not going to happen. They're going to go into Philly with a 6-game losing streak. And they're going to be tied for the division. And the Phillies are going to walk away in Philly with a divisional lead come Sunday. You know that's going to happen. You know that there's no good things happening for the Mets at this moment because everybody is just playing terrible baseball. Another 4 hits today for the Mets. It's disgusting. And that's what happens when you play Chris Sale. That's what happens when you face one of the best pitchers in baseball. And we could blame it on so many different pieces. We could blame it on the pitching. We could blame it on Torrens with his awful defense today. But it doesn't make a difference because when the first batter of the game basically cleared the path to victory, the rest of it doesn't make a difference. I know you want to play a tight game. I know you want to play clean. Paul Blackburn could have gone another 8 innings and put up a 0. And then that's what still have lost that game because you're not hitting Chris Sale. So that's why Tuesday's game was so important. And that's why it was so frustrating for the Mets to lose that game. But who loses better? I would have taken the Yankees loss today because at least the game was a little bit more exciting. It felt like the game was closer. Obviously, the Yankees were. Were they just swept by the Angels? The Yankees were just swept by the Angels. What just happened? I can't believe that just happened. The Yankees just got swept by the Angels. Oh, my God. But at least they were in it. They were in it up until Volpe screwed up. The Mets were never in this game. So I think I will give the Yankees the W today for the best loss of Wednesday. We got ourselves a win in New York. If you wanted to try to find some happy ending here, the W goes to the Yankees for the best loss of the evening on Wednesday night. Tuesday would have gone to the Mets. Even though they blew that game, even though they blew the game to the Braves, they had the lead. It was exciting, and then there was the walk-off. So it was an exciting loss. So listen, we can find positives in this negativity, right? These are the two storylines that you're going to be hearing all day long between Boomer and Gio, between BT and Sal, between I think there's one more game tomorrow. Yes, because the Yankees are playing tomorrow at 1:00. So they're playing the Angels one more time. This series is not over. They haven't officially been swept yet. They have a chance to go 0-4 against the lousy Angels. I mean, talk about awful baseball right now. 0-11. And this was funny too. I saw a stat from Anthony DiComo. New York as a whole have gone 0-19. 0-19. Hold on. Where was it? Where was the tweet or the X? Do you call it? Does anybody actually call it X? Does anybody say, "Oh, I X'd something"? I don't think anybody actually does that. I think people just still call it tweets. So anyway, the current state of New York sports combined: the Yankees, Mets, Nets, Knicks, Islanders, and Giants. So it's 6 New York teams have lost the last 19 games they've played. Only the Jets and the Rangers are coming off wins. And the Rangers and the Jets were not in the playoffs, so it didn't matter. Unbelievable. That, my friends, is a problem. But you will be hearing about these issues and these terrible games all day long on WFAN. Just tune into Boomer and Gio, BT and Sal, Chris McMonagle, Keith McPherson before that. Obviously, Evan and Tiki, the Lou Gower. Everybody is back on the airwaves. And then don't forget, go to Fanatics Fest, which is where we got these nifty cards from Michael Rubin, hooked it up. Fanatics Fest. There'll be tons of things to do at Fanatics Fest. We'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Rico Bronya podcast will be there. The Unkillable podcast will be there. Sal will be there doing a solo show, I think, on Saturday. Sunday is going to be BT, but everybody's going to be there. So just definitely go Fanatics Fest. It's going to be fantastic. I know that they sold over 100,000 tickets already, which is 100,000 tickets. That's crazy. It's going to be a lot of people there. Just be warned, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. Again, if you miss anything at all, always download the Odyssey app, and you can go and find whatever you want on the Odyssey app, whether it's rewinding function to go and listen to the live stuff on WFAN or to go check out the podcast. Everything is on there, and just go look through it and search for it. Again, my name is Pete Hoffman. I appreciate you listening to WFAN Daily and venting with me and having some fun. And if you missed it, I pulled the pack. I opened this pack right here. If you're listening right now on the podcast, that you hear that. But I opened this pack, and not only did I get Brandon Nimmo, not only did I get a couple Angels that put the hurting on the Yankees, I also got Juan Soto in a New York Yankee jersey. Grapefruit League. Oh, as Joe B would say, oh, the pain. But that was a good pull. I don't think it's worth anything, but there's some sort of sentimental value right here. I don't know who I should give this to. I feel like I should give this to maybe Keith McPherson. Maybe Keith will love this card. Maybe I give that to Keith. If not Keith, I know BT would really appreciate it. Or would Salicon appreciate this card? But it's in a Yankee jersey. Maybe he wouldn't. But he does love Juan Soto, who did nothing again today. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys checking me out again at Hoff WFAN on any social media platform. And I'll do this again tomorrow. So be on the lookout for WFAN Daily anywhere you download your podcast, obviously the Odyssey app, but anywhere you download your podcast, you will find WFAN Daily with Pete Hoffman. Till the next pod, I will see you guys on BT and Sal, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.